People of the Commonwealth, this is your overboss Ricky speaking, coming to you from my secret lair deep underground. I know many of you feel resentful to me for terrorizing Boston with my raiders and stealing from farmers and flooding the market with jet, but, well, you all keep buying it, so you really should be blaming yourselves for that one. But you'll all be relieved to know that the money I've made has gone to good use. Your hard-earned caps that I have taken have allowed me to build this wonderful place I now call home. Most of you will likely never visit it, but know that without your suffering, this place would have never been possible. So thank you to all you wastelanders out there, and make sure to keep paying tribute. Those chests aren't going to fill themselves.
Hello everyone. As you can see, Ricky the Raider is back, and now that he's conquered the Commonwealth, he's got a bit of time on his hands. And you may remember, during his adventures, he found this little place called Vault 88, an abandoned vault full of supplies, and honestly full of opportunity. Ricky saw a lot of potential in this place, but he had to do a lot of work to turn it into something really special. Now, I bet you're all thinking, alright, I've seen a vault build before, and I've seen one of your videos before. I saw your Vault 88 tour, and thank you for watching that if you did. It was pretty awesome. At least I think so. But anyway, you've seen a vault tour before, but I don't think you've seen one quite like this. There's something really unique I got to say. So stick around. I think you're really going to want to see this. So over here, we have a pretty typical, vault entrance. There's nothing really special going on here. The main idea is, you don't really have to worry about intruders getting into a vault, because it's a vault, right? They're not getting past that door. They have to have a Pip-Boy to get in the first place, and this is going to be locked all the time. So, Ricky's already got the unique advantage of, a vault as a place to live. You really can't beat that. This is going to be a safe, secure bunker. Not that, his place in Nuke World is bad, mind you. The Fizz Top, grill there is quite the nice place. But, it's not very secure. It's not very secretive. But this place, no one's getting in here. So, yeah, definitely a lot of pluses. The property, it's not in the best neighborhood. I'll tell you that. But, when it comes to wasteland living, it's really not about where, the location is. It's more about what's inside. You want to be safe. You want to be secure. In this place, oh boy, is it secure. So take a look inside, on the off chance that somehow the door gets opened, or, somebody gets inside, someone maybe sneaks in. They're immediately greeted by, some warning signs. We don't want you here. Look what happened. This is not a great place. This is one of those vaults where a lot of bad stuff happened, People in the wasteland are familiar with the stories. They know you really don't want to be going into many vaults, and especially this one. Yeah, we're getting the message that this is not a place where you're welcome. So if someone, some vault dweller comes along thinking that, oh, wonderful, a vault. I finally can have some friends here. No, this is not a place for you. This is not a very friendly type of place. But, we got a lot of decorations. There are a couple bodies, There were some residents here who, just happened to be here before we got here. And even, I'll show you into the security. Yeah, Ricky, he had to do some work here. There was, there were some people here. But, they've been dead for a while. How long is that while? Don't worry about it. But, most of these people were dead when he got here. Most of them. So yeah, we just keep that closed. That's, don't worry about it. So anyway, the main area we're going to be getting into here, if someone somehow gets this far, I doubt it, but now we're going to go into the main home area, right? But really at this point, you're not getting past those turrets or any vault dwellers have been scared off. So right here, we are now entering Ricky's Sanctuary. So yeah, as we come on inside, we can see that this place is really unlike anything I think you've ever seen. The whole place is kind of falling apart, but there's a certain Raider charm to it, It's been kind of taken apart, put back together. But right here, we have Peach, the first guard, takes care of Ricky, watches out. And check this out. Radiation, is all over in the wasteland. You can just take care of it right here. So yeah, that's a very nice thing you can take care of there. But looking around, it's a bit of a mess in here. It's a bit broken down, but it's got that Raider charm. and some souvenirs taken from Nuka World, really make it feel like home to someone like Ricky. Now, also there's plenty of other decorations. Thankfully he's got a bunch of great friends, the operators and the disciples, not the pack. We don't want to hear about the pack, but the disciples, they love to decorate. They have a great keen eye for decorating. So they were able to donate lots of wonderful things to spruce the place up with. But we have the kind of main area. It's just kind of a big welcoming. If he's ever having like a raider party, everyone's gonna be hanging out here. There's drinks. There's a drink cooler right here. It's nice, and just a lot of typical things you'd expect of a raider home. But in here, he does have his own little workshop area. It's nice because this is where he's gonna be living. He's gonna be maintaining all of his gear, and he's got a lot of stuff to take care of. So here we have a little workshop area. It's pretty cluttered, but he still keeps it neat and tidy. That's the kind of guy Ricky is. He's got a bit of a messiness to him, bit rough around the edges, but he keeps it clean. He keeps it stylish. He's got this thing, one of the many things he stole from that gang of raiders. What do they call themselves? The Rust Devils or whatever. They had a lot of cool stuff he was able to take from them. And from them, he got a lot of great robot parts. So that's where, he can work here. He can, work on all his robots, mostly Assaultrons, because, of course, right? But, any other kind of robot he needs to serve his needs. And, workstations galore to keep track of all his gear. And some of the special things, the salvaged Assaultron head, kind of a strange relic. It's a Assaultron head. It works as a weapon. Very interesting. And, just another Assaultron in progress, kind of broken, needs to be fixed. But, yeah, it's the workshop area. And then coming over here, it's kind of this area. There used to be, I don't know, someone was living here. Someone had like a little house set up. Probably could be cleared out, but for now it's being used as a bridge, which you'll see later. So, we also got an animatronic here, another souvenir taken from Nuka World. We'll go over to that section a bit later, but we'll take a look over here, where we got some interesting things. There's a big crane. It's kind of fallen over, and that whole section of the vault is just kind of collapsing. There's a bridge, and yeah, this place was a real mess when he found it. It was like partially complete, so he's been able to rebuild some things, like this whole structure up here. He's able to kind of rework a little bit, make it a bit more sturdy. But this whole section is just still pretty abandoned. It's not much left here, but you can still go through it, I guess. But over here we have a shooting gallery. Yeah, so this is neat. You can have a place to just practice your aim, right? So just
Getting sealed underground for over 200 years would drive even a robot insane.
I'm sure it would, Ada. Thanks for that contribution. Anyway, so Ricky, he can just he can take aim. Got the pretty big target here in the middle, but put one right between the eyes, and you got little smaller target here over. Gotta aim for that. Excuse my aim. I'm on controller. I typically am on mouse and keyboard, but for the sake of the tour, I put it on controller because people complain that I move too fast. So I'm using a controller. Okay. Anyway, you get the idea, right? It's a shooting gallery. But I had a lot of fun putting this together. It's a really nice. You got all these train cars, and yeah, so you just kind of leave them here, because something. Oh, I didn't see you were back there. Cool, nice job. Thanks for the operators for that. But yeah, they helped out a ton as well. The operators they insisted on this. Now they don't come over too often. This is definitely a bit of a this is Ricky's private private abode, private domicile. But he still invites some friends over. Anisha, of course, and Mags Black. Gotta have them over. But yeah, plenty of supplies stocked here. Just have a good time. Practice aim, because that's what you do as a raider. You do a lot of shooting. But there are a couple different ways to get up. You can go kind of through the train cars, where there's just a bunch of wreckage over here. You can kind of walk around this main balcony. We'll get to this over a section a bit later. You can see we got the beginning of his little treasure collection. But just some security cameras too. I'll show you those later. But the other way is you can go through the old wreckage here. And that's the path I'm going to send you. Show you over here. So, old cafeteria, nothing really going on here, just kind of broken down. Maybe the old vault dwellers were using it, no idea. I don't think this place was ever really complete, but they got somewhere, and it made a nice place to start with. And, he had what was probably somebody's room at some point, or at least intended to be, but it's kind of just falling apart. Maybe down the line, the great thing is that Ricky has a lot of room here still to work with. So if he wants to expand, add more to his house. But, for now, this really suits his needs. Here was probably some old clinic, but, yeah, the disciples, they had some ideas for what to do with this place. So, oh, hi, Ada. So yeah, they made a bit of a decoration here. It's a bit crude, it's not everyone's taste, but it's very Raider-esque, and the smell isn't great. I'll tell you that. But it's over here. It's far enough away. Ricky doesn't have to worry about it too much. They like it when they come over. They love this place. They're big fans. So as you can see, this place is a bit ramshackle, a bit thrown together, but it works. That's kind of the Raider style. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works. And it's got a certain charm to it. So this place, again, it looks like it's falling apart, but it's pretty strong. They make these places to last. It's just not the tidiest. I'm sure Vault Tech would complain if they saw it, but who really cares what they think? Sure thing. Anyway, so in here we've got security guard Shakira, right? So she's called that because she's shocking, and her hips do not lie. And also she can do that. Anyway, so yeah, this is this is the desk, right, for like the main security area. But we also have the start of some of Ricky's prized possessions. So he's working on his bobblehead collection and magazine collections, work in progress. But also got all the Nuka-Cola recipes. I think this is all of them. At least this is all the ones that were in the inventory, and I'm pretty sure I found all of them. So whatever. I think this is all of them. Anyway, but also in here, I got some mini nukes just in case you need those. But these are very important because, look at this guy, right? Ricky has what does that say? 128,000 caps. You really think this guy is just carrying those all on his person all the time? No, they're kept in places like this, So we just got these safes full of bottle caps, full of trading. So he just takes whatever he needs wherever he's going. So yeah, rich guy in the wasteland, but come on, the bottle caps are gonna weigh you down. So gotta keep them somewhere. They're kept safe in there. Now this is the security camera bank. All the security, cameras run through here wherever all the wiring. I don't want to show you just yet. I don't want to spoil the rest of the tour. But I'll make sure to show you at the end. And through here, got this thing. Got a whole Edatronic with snacks. Again, pleasures of vault life. They had a whole vault just in like whole storerooms just full of snacks and stuff in this vault. It's wonderful. So really living the luxury life here. I'll show you the overseer's office last. I don't want to spoil that too soon. But over here there is another clinic. There's the kind of ruined one over there. But, Ricky needs one just for him. So he kind of built this little addition on. Yeah, so I got the nurse here. And, got some beds just in case, Ricky ever gets injured. He can get healed up. Not the most secure. As you can see, there's some holes in the wall. But this place is, it's a big airtight vault. How airtight do you really need it to be? It's sterile enough. All right, it's got med supplies. It's got everything you need, And the nurse is great. She knows what she's doing. All right, she's been programmed. I think she used to be a Miss Nanny. Kind of shoved her OS into an assaultron, and she works just as fine. So coming down this way, we can start to take a look at the beginning of the tour of Ricky's treasures. He's really got a showboat a little bit. Show off everything he's done, all that he's accomplished, and all he's collected. So these mannequins are just the outfits to represent all the various enemies he's taken down. So, we've got Skinny Malone, pretty small time in the grand scheme of things, but, some big Triggerman boss. He took him down, and it was a pretty important part in Ricky's journey. Next, we have the Mechanist. Of course, the Mechanist with her robots, big opponent there. Had this huge whole base, which, Ricky did turn into a little something different. But, it was through the Mechanist that Ricky found his passion for robotics. So, really, in some way, he does have to thank her, even though she's dead. Next up is Kellogg. Kellogg, he was a big guy, and it was through Kellogg that Ricky learned about the Institute. This big threat that he had to take out. So, that guy was a pretty tough opponent, but another domino that fell. And next up was the Railroad, the first of the big factions that Ricky had to deal with. Yeah, they were pushovers. They were a complete joke. I don't even know why we're spending time on them at all, but, at least they get a mention, so that's It's more than what they deserve. But next up is the Brotherhood. They were tough. You know, he really had to work his way in, infiltrate that faction, and really destroy them from within. It wasn't easy, but they were a tough opponent, and Ricky in some way kind of honors them in this sense. Doesn't honor the Railroad. No one cares about them. But the Brotherhood, they deserve a bit of respect from him. And the Institute. Oh, the Institute. So ambitious were they, and so dangerous. But in the end, they fell like all the others. And yeah, that's about it for them. They did some pretty cool technology, though. He probably should have taken more of it before he blew them up, but it's probably fine. But anyway, over here, you kind of have to, you know, be careful walking on this thing. It's not the best system, but it works. Here's some artwork, you know. Ricky's just collected a bunch of it. He wasn't really sure where to put it, but, you know, you find this stuff on the wasteland. It's like, it's artwork like this in good condition. You don't want to let it just go to waste and rot away even more, so he's collected it. You just gotta find somewhere to put it. I mean, there's plenty of real estate in this place. Just gotta, you know, get around to it. But anyway, in here, we've got the Armory. So yeah, a lot of important power armors to go through here. So first of all, you know, we have the very first power armor that Ricky ever got his hands on. Just some random raider, you know, probably some high-level boss had this in Lexington. Took him out, grabbed the power armor, and this was what allowed Ricky to take out the raiders at the Corvega assembly plant. It was really broken down, scrapped together, missing a lot of parts, but it was through this that he was able to secure his first big win and really put his name on the map for the other raiders to know that this wasn't a guy to mess with. Next up was the power armor of Overboss Coulter. He was a tough opponent. It was not easy taking him out. But, you know, ultimately, the water gun would be his demise. And really, it was his arrogance, too. He was pretty arrogant, and Ricky was, you know, was a bit clever and was able to take him out and become the big overboss of Nuka World. So, very important for him, this power armor, even if he doesn't really want to wear it much. Next up is the power armor the Brotherhood gave him, which they probably regret now, to be honest. They probably regret their decision of, you know, giving power armor to the guy who would ultimately destroy them. But hey, it's a pretty nice set, and it's still here and all together. And next up is the Nuka-Cola T51. Ricky does love, you know, Nuka World, Nuka Girl, the whole aesthetic. So you know, this power armor is just special. It was in the bottling plant. It was not easy to get to, let me tell you that. But another very special addition to the collection. And finally, the Quantum X01 Nuka-Cola Quantum. I keep saying Quantum Power Armor because that's what it is. It's the Quantum Power Armor. It's very cool. And again, just another very special power armor to Ricky. He's not a big power armor guy himself, but you know, it's more about the aura that you get from lining these all up and just showing them off. Because I mean, how many Wastelanders have power armor? How many have 5? Right? Like, and 6. There's another one over there. I forgot about that. So you know, probably even more. He's got more at home that he's not even showing off. So you know, it's really just a big flex to show that you got all this power armor. But over here, you know, just some more collections of weapons, things he found, like this thing. Got this in the gauntlet, and just some other collections of weapons. This is pretty cool looking. He made it pink because, you know, why not have a pink minigun? But anyway, through here we just have, you know, some more ammo storage, some more cool weapons. Like there's a alien gun. Remember when he fought an alien? Yeah, you shouldn't remember that. Told you to forget about it. Anyway, Kellogg's pistols over here. There's this Tesla rifle. It's pretty cool. The cryolator. That was a pretty cool thing. Found that in a vault. The Nuka launcher. Yeah, had to kill Brad Burton to get this, but a pretty special thing right here. And just some more. Yeah, it's kind of. Again, this vault is kind of falling apart, so we just kind of had to block off some sections. But you know, I got some more stuff here. Got that from that guy Cito in Nuka World. Stole this from somewhere. Got this as a gift from the operators. So you know, a lot of special things in here. But right through here. Yeah, this is just a storage room. Look, I mean, the guy's got so much stuff, right? I mean, like, everyone kind of just needs, like, a basement to throw all your stuff in. This is essentially what that is, right? I mean, how often do you need a Christmas tree? Like, once a year? So it gets shoved back here, and, you know, you just got more ammo if you need it, just kind of shoved in here, and weapons, and all sorts of other junk that doesn't really need to be shown off, but, you know, gotta put it somewhere, and, you know, gotta have accounting, you know? Gotta have good accounting. I know the guy's a raider, but still, you gotta, like, keep track of who's going where, who's doing what, where's the money going. You know, there's a lot to do as a raider. It's a big important job, and a lot of people don't appreciate that. But you know, anyway, through here we're gonna go into another section that's pretty unfinished. But we do have another guard, just to keep an eye. There's some pretty nasty things living in these caves, but you know, we got Buttercup here with her flaming swords to keep an eye on things. She does a good job. So yeah, you know, just coming down these stairs. Yeah, it's a bit rickety, bit unsafe. You may notice the ghouls. Oh, yeah. So, you know, there's all these ghouls running around in these caves, glowing and radiation. So, you know, Ricky managed to trap them. It might lure a couple more in, but if they do, well, you know, we got plenty of defenses up there to take care of them. So, you know, they're kind of cool though. You know, they just glow. They have this emanating glow they give off. It's pretty cool, honestly. You know, so they're not that scary when they're in a cage. But anyway, this section of the vault, it was another section that just wasn't really finished. So it's just kind of being propped up a little bit. He kind of added onto it a bit. But this is actually a pretty special part because, you know, as you know, Ricky, you know, he's kind of known for being the drug lord of the Commonwealth, you know, with his jet business. So he's got a place to work on chems here. And you know, yeah, chemistry stations, you know, chem supplies and all the materials you need, you know, just to kind of do science experiments. You know, we got a hazmat suit to stay safe, but you know, anything you might need just to cook something up, basically. You know, he's gotta cook up all his drugs, and yeah, that's what goes on in here. So definitely, you know, bit of a seedy drug lab. Maybe not the most sterile or, you know, safe, but hey, you know, it works, and you know, it made him a very rich man. So still got to keep working on that. But through here goes to another section. This was fairly well maintained, as it goes to the main water generator. So, you know, purifier machine thing came with the vault. It produces way more water than he needs, and honestly, he could sell it. He could probably sell it, make a nice profit out of it. But I mean, where's the fun in that? It's not as fun as selling jet. So, but still, this place, you know, this cave, Ricky wanted to do something a bit special with it. So, he built this. A tropical paradise, basically, you know? You don't really get to have much like this in a Commonwealth, you know? It's not really a beach. It's kind of dingy, but, you know, still you can sit out and relax, have a drink. It's a good time. There is supposed to be a lifeguard here. Ah, there she is. Okay, so this is Cherry. She doesn't really... Her voice box kind of broke, but other than that, she is, you know, absolutely maxed out. You know, the strongest possible Assaultron you could have. But, you know, she's really important because she keeps walking away, for one. So that's a bit of a bug, needs to be fixed. But other than that, I mean, there was a bunch of Mirelurks in here, and Ricky probably got all the eggs. It's probably safe, but, you know, you can never be too safe. So you know, the lifeguard here is mainly just to watch out for Mirelurks. Because it's not like Ricky's going to go swimming in this. That's disgusting. But hopefully the purifier goes long enough. Maybe it'll be clean. But, you know, for now, it's just this nice, you know, tropical paradise. You can just, you know, lounge here. You can just hang out, have a good time. You know, it's not really like laying in the sun, but it's about as close as you can get underground, you know? Spend a lot of time down here. You don't get much natural light, so this is about the closest thing as you can get. But now that we're back up here, I'll show you the security monitors, just so you can get an idea of what it looks like. So these give a nice view of the vault, you know, just so we can keep an eye on things, make sure the robots aren't going haywire or anything. But they give a great overview. You know, there's that kind of cave section over there, another just empty part of the vault. There might be monsters in there. Vicky's pretty sure he got them all, but I mean, he can never be too safe, so just keep an eye on things. So yeah, everything looks pretty normal for now. Honestly, this camera feature might be one of my favorite things just in the game. It's so nice just to have. So yeah, now I'll take you up to the very top. Ricky's, you know, private domicile. His room, you know, his most sanctuary place. I don't know what else to call it. It's the Overseer's office. So, coming through here, you know, you got a very, very defined aesthetic of you know, a bit posh, bit upper class, but also, you know, distinctly Nuka-Cola, Nuka World. You know, really got to make it feel like the place that he calls home. Which, even though this is the place he calls home now, you know, Nuka World is still gonna always be his home. But, you know, we got the Nuka Girl suit. You know, very, very special treasure. Got to keep it in here. And then, you know, just lots of nice decorations and types of things. You know, got nice seating areas, but also, you know, got that raider charm. And then you got whatever these things are, just some other, you know, stuff he's found. You know, here we got a nice bed, you know, for him and Ada to stay here. And I got a little workout area. I got to work out. Stay in shape. And a big desk. Yeah, gotta have the big desk here. To look busy and do raider stuff. Like I said, a lot of paperwork goes into being a raider, and people don't realize that. But there's a lot that you got to do. But also, great view right through here. It's it's not nothing any crazy, but it's just there's something really nice about this view. You get to see the whole scope, even though it's a vault that's a vault that's collapsing. It's still just a really nice view, I think, at least. And got the nice dining area. So Ricky and Ada can have their nice dinners together. Some books. Gotta be scholarly. Gotta be read up on things. To be taken over the wasteland. You gotta be pretty smart. Got a nice kitchen area. It's a bit thrown together. Probably could use a bit of cleaning, but it's whatever. He'll just make a cleaning robot and then make everything scrubbed up and clean. But in here, bathroom, nothing too crazy, just laundry and yeah, there's a shower, there's a sink, there's a toilet. It's a bathroom. I don't know what else you expected. So yeah, that's what's been going on with Ricky. He's just been working on this place, and honestly, a place like this is just the perfect kind of place for him to plan his next steps. Because oh yes, Ricky does have some things in the works. He's got some more things he's got to do. But this place is going to be his secure sanctuary. We can I think I've said that like 20 times in this video, but it's his place, all right? It's his crib. It's where he hangs out. It's his place where he can be, himself and just hang out, be a raider, do all the stuff he's got to do so he can go out and be a raider in the wasteland, all right? That's the main gist of this. But seriously, I had a ton of fun building this vault, and I really hope you enjoy it. I think it was a very unique challenge trying to, contrast these two styles of a clean vault, but also like falling apart, and then with the raider style taking everything over. So I think I did a pretty good job with it, but let me know what you think. I had just a ton of fun building this, and I had more ideas. I kept being like, oh, I can put more in this section, I can put more in this section, but I had to stop myself. I had to be like, no, it's enough. I've put enough things in here. It's just a home for a raider. It doesn't need to be this huge sprawling thing. So yeah, if you want to see another vault build from me, if you haven't seen the previous one I did, I had a lot of fun with that one. It's from a couple years ago, but I still really enjoyed it. So yeah. Anyway, this is kind of a long recording. I'm not sure how long the video will be, but if you did watch all the way through, I really appreciate it, and I hope you all enjoyed, and hope to see you again soon. So bye for now.
So we're glad you dropped by. Come in, loosen up your tie. Have a drink or maybe just one